assessing the efficiency of video conferencing applications in online learning under the new normal education. Presented by Group 2. Chapter 1. Background of the study.
As globalization has continued to link countries, cultures, and languages worldwide, learners of several languages and sensitivity to cultural diversity are becoming more relevant. The internet is increasingly used for providing education and distance learning. Internet-based learning allows students to study at their speed, access knowledge in a convenient way, and offers preparation for remote students who would otherwise be unable to go to a school. There are currently many applications to provide internet education. As Quintana stated from her study, evaluating the value and effectiveness of internet-based learning, these innovations include the use of the World Wide Web for online lecture notes, news groups for joint discussions and class updates, email communication between students and teachers, interactive video over the internet for remote participation in classes, and virtual reality for experiencing three-dimensional scenes.
The sudden breakout of a fatal COVID-19 virus that was shaking the entire world has been declared a pandemic by the World Health Organization. This situation challenged the worldwide education system and pressured educators throughout the day to turn to online teaching. Many schools were hesitant to shift their conventional pedagogical strategy, but they had no option but to switch to online learning.
Learning linked to memory. While many students will do this on the day before and simply repeat the information on the day of the test, they often forget the information on the day after the test. This is not the purpose of education. Willis stated, to have a long-term effect on learning, different parts of the brain need to be connected. This means that the more ideas the learner uses, such as listening, speaking, and moving, the stronger memory is generated. The brain learns best from interactions that make an emotional and social connection. Wesson clarified that the amygdala and the hippocampus are essential to learning, and that these brain regions are highly stimulated throughout emotional and social interactions. Besides, Karpik said continuous processing of long-term memory further confirms this theory. When when memory is used over and over, it is hardwired in the brain for long-term storage. Students need to have authentic ways to practice vocabulary, grammar, and language that will rely on the continuous retrieval of what they have learned. Upshaw, who studied the effects of video conferencing as an instructional tool in the high school Spanish classroom, stated that video conferencing is a platform that encourages students to talk, compose, listen, smile, and laugh while focusing on the continuous recovery of learned knowledge, which generates long-term memories and good learning.
Technology is at a point that nearly every school student have access to video conferencing. Routes stated with necessary video conferencing and bandwidth software with internet connection, video conferencing can be provided to other people around the world. Kapen also stated that it is now used more commonly to connect students and classes to other worldwide. Student can take a visit to the Smithsonian virtual field or have a guest talk with their class from a different village or country.
Video conferencing has become a key component not only in the business world but also of the world of education, health, and many other fields. Nowadays, it is often present in classrooms and recognized as a teaching tools. It provides teachers new ways of doing things. The teacher will also help present content of the lesson, collaborating with the students, and other activities. The development of teaching ideas is to link with progressive updating technologies. So students will use digital screens, cameras, and microphones which are built in a computer or mobile devices. Therefore, they can communicate with their classmates and teachers as if they were in the physical classrooms. They can receive instructions and information on any topics through video conferencing application and can ask questions to the participants from all locations involved in a video conference. The use of digital images and videos in the classrooms puts teachings beyond textbooks and connects students with the current world they live in.
Gladovich and Vertig and the other author who proposed the study of video conferencing and its application in education started the video conferencing as a form of distance education. Illustrate well the relationship between use and technology and the needs for the reorganization to maximize the benefits. Distance education, when properly organized and structured, also illustrate the ability to reach new target groups and to expand the range of educational offering through technology. It has progressed with development of a various service on the internet. This way, this way of opening distance learning provided education and training more flexibly.
The researchers would like to find out how these video conferencing applications will enhance the current distance learning to a more structured, systematic, productive, and energy-saving education for both teachers and students. This study will help us to know the advantages and abilities of video conferencing apps in facilitating the students' learning progression without the need for constant travel for face-to-face communication.
Statement of the problem.
So, for the statement of the problem, we as researchers aims to assess the efficiency of video conferencing applications in online learning. To be more specific, our goal is to seek for an answer to the following questions. First is to know what video conferencing applications are being used by senior high school students in online learning. Next is to seek for the advantages of video conferencing applications used by senior high school students in online learning. And lastly is to know the possible disadvantages of video conferencing applications that are being used by senior high school students in online learning. That is all for our statement of the problem.
Scope and the limitations.
Scope and the limitations. This study assesses the efficiency of video conferencing applications in online learning under new normal education. This study includes students' personal information and occupation of their parents and siblings. This study is limited to 100% total population of grade 12 STEM 2 male and females enrolled in the first semester of 2020-2021 at World City colleges. Each of the respondents is given a question and the answer.
Significance of the study.
I am here to emphasize the significance of the study. This pandemic has brought us many changes and has encompasses on the new normal. It has also dominated multiple sectors of the educational system. This study aims to see on what video communicating apps do students use on their online learning. The following people who will benefit from this are 1. Teachers. This research will support teachers in such a way as to provide them information on about the influences of social media exposure to their students and their studies. Teachers can either control or optimize the use of social media for their students. They will also have a chance to continue their studies and teachings between them and their students without face-to-face. Next, students. To inform that the use of multimedia in schools enables students to access unlimited web-based networks that connect them to the world. They could have classroom-like space by remote learning where they could learn productively and teaching them the sense of duty. Next, parents. The results of the study may notify parents of the advantages and disadvantages of their children's intense exposure to social media. Home rules and regulations of their children intense exposure find the concerning the degree of which e-technology is used to avoid the exposure of hazardous and dangerous sites. Next, future researchers. Future researchers that may concentrate on the video conferencing applications may refer to this study and its result as usual for their analysis of the relevant study. Thank you, and that is all.
That is all for the presentation of Group 2. Thank you.